Welcome to my channel, Duct Tape Mechanic. In this video, I'm going to discuss the top 5 things that you'll have to do yourself despite purchasing a brand new house in a brand new community. So if you find this video to be helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel. One of the first things that you'll have to do yourself after purchasing a brand new house is the landscape. As you could tell, the front yard has this drought-resistant landscaping right here, which looks decent, but the backyard has absolutely nothing done to it, and that is something you'll have to take care of. Look, this one has just got sold, and I'm gonna go into the backyard and see if I can show you guys what that looks like. Here it is. It's just pretty much dirt, and on this one the grading looks pretty good actually, and I've seen a lot of them where it's got really poor grading. Oh, this one has got a decent sized lot as well, and that is what the landscape looks like. So it's pretty much all bare bones, so that will have to be addressed. And it's got a nice decent sized side lot as well. So be aware of the potential additional landscape costs that may be associated with a new home as well. The second thing that you have to do yourself or pay somebody to do, because most builders don't do this, is to seal the granite countertops and the granite island, like this one right here. And you'll also have to seal the grout lines in between the tiles as well. Sealing the island and the grout will help you stay clean, and it'll prevent from water to being soaked into the granite. So it's really important for stains and micro scratches. And it is something that most builders do not do, and they tell you that the countertops haven't been sealed, and it's not something that's terribly difficult to do. I've actually made a video on how to do this. So if you're in the process of purchasing a home or plan on purchasing a home, it's really not that much of an additional cost. The sealer is a little bit pricey, but it can all be done for maybe $100 for both the grout sealer and the countertop sealer. Right, so the third thing is miscellaneous hardware. And what do I mean by that? That's things like a rack right here or a bar to hold your towels. Also had to install this shelf right here just for the various things one would need in a laundry room, like detergents, fabric softener, and whatnot. So that was something that was not included. So I just did a basic single shelf here. So one of the biggest surprises for me in terms of installing miscellaneous hardware was that my cabinets didn't have any sort of hardware. I don't know if that's some sort of trend, but it's certainly something that we didn't particularly like. So we had to install the knobs and the handle ourselves. By ourselves, I mean me, but I was able to get a nice little template off of Amazon that really helped me center these things up, and they lined up quite well. So I was kind of worried about that at the start, but it is not something that's particularly too difficult. It can be a little bit daunting because these are new cabinets and you don't want to drill holes into them, but if you don't like the look of not having any sort of cabinet hardware, it's something that you have to do. Plus there's a functional feature to it as well, because it's a lot easier to open these drawers and doors with hardware than it is by grabbing them from the top, because that's how they're going to get more dirty, particularly white ones. So that was one thing I was kind of surprised with, that the cabinets didn't have any hardware. I don't know if that's something that's just true for this particular community or this builder, but it is something that everybody should be aware of. The fourth thing that you'll have to address in a lot of these new build homes is an issue with bugs and other insects, because not too long ago, this home that you just purchased was just a field, most likely an agricultural field, and neither yourself or your neighbors have really developed their backyards yet, so there's going to be some bugs. So the builder will often recommend different pesticide companies that can take care of that issue for you, but this is also something you can tackle yourself by going to the local hardware store or home improvement store and buying some sort of perimeter defense insecticide until you get to that backyard developing. That should help reduce some of the bug issues, because this right here, this particular community, maybe about 10 years ago, was tomato fields, so that's going to have some issues, and you shouldn't be surprised if you see all sorts of bugs in your garage and whatnot. The fifth thing that you'll probably have to do after purchasing a new home in a new community is you'll notice that there aren't any sort of shade trees, or any sort of shade for that matter. I believe that the builder is required to plant a certain amount of trees, but as you know, trees do not grow overnight, and they're going to take a couple of years to actually give any sort of reasonable amount of shade. So you will have to think of ways to address that, whether that means you have to put up an awning or a gazebo in the back to enjoy those summer afternoons. But that is something that you will have to consider, or you may want to plant one or two more trees in the yard as well. Particularly in the backyard, the builder does not plant any trees at all, so it is definitely a consideration. If you have a new two-story home, that's going to be directly in the sunlight, while some of the single-story homes may get a little bit of shade from the shadows of the two-story homes.